Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about all the books I read in the month of October. I know it's like almost the middle of November, but we're just gonna talk about it. So the first book I ended up reading in October was Clown in Cornfield by Adam Cesare, I think is how you say his name. I did talk about this book a little bit in my spooky book recommendations, but I really liked this book. I think it was a solid slasher novel, which we don't get too many of those, and so, yes. This was kind of like a solid 3.5 star read for me, because I really enjoyed reading it. Like, I liked it. The characters just fell a little flat for me though. I did appreciate some of the kind of twists in the stereotypes that they had going on, but overall the characters just didn't wow me, so I was just kind of invested in the event more than the people. So I would definitely recommend it though if you're looking for a kind of fun slasher type novel. Perfect for that kind of vibe. That's Clown in Cornfield, 3 stars. 3.5 stars. And next, I actually read and finished The Hobbit. I babysit occasionally, and so the kid wanted me to read The Hobbit aloud to him, and I did. And you know what? It was amazing because I have loved this book for a long time. I read it multiple times when I was a kid, but reading it aloud to a kid who is so excited to hear about hobbits and dragons and things like that, it just made me so happy to see a love of reading being instilled in this kid, and just that sense of adventure and like whimsy, and reading it out loud actually like really helped with a lot of the prose, because like on the page where I might seem like dense or like a little awkward occasionally, I feel like when you read it aloud it really flows. So I found myself enjoying it way more than I had before, because I was doing all the voices and stuff, and yeah, I freaked the kid out with my Gollum voice a little bit, but you know what? It was great. And yeah, 5 out of 5 stars to The Hobbit. Love it. And next, I did a buddy read with Jesse the reader. We read the all 5 volumes of the Monstress graphic novel series together. This book collects the first 3, and then I have the other 2 somewhere. This is a epic fantasy graphic novel comic book series, and I had read this before, so I read the first 3 before, so reading 4 and 5 were new to me, but this is a series that I think only really shows how amazing it is on a reread. I mean, you're kind of wowed on the initial read, but also a little confused because there's so much going on that it's really hard to keep track of everything. But once you really get into like the cultures and the differences between the nations, and once you kind of have that set in your head, because it is harder to understand like a fantasy world in graphic novel format, because there needs to be lots of exposition kind of woven in naturally, and it is, but it's also hard because it's like a fully fleshed out epic fantasy world, and you don't have the luxury of like a really long novel with like details here and there. You just kind of have to go with it. And I think by going with it, you're able to get a lot. Also, the art in this is beautiful. It's this kind of like Art Deco 1920s style artwork, and also Marjorie Liu has made the amazing decision that most of the characters in this series are women. Like almost everybody. I can count like the men on like one hand. And I love that because, and it feels very natural too. Like that's just the way that this world is. Like the women are just kind of like naturally more prominent. I'm not saying that the men aren't. There are like a couple of really good male characters, but it's just not. It's more concerned with the women, and it wasn't like, you know, we're feminists and we're like, it wasn't like so overtly like political or anything. It's just like that's how it was, and I loved how natural it felt. Also, this series has great action, beautiful character moments, and I just cannot wait to see where the series goes from here, because it's not over yet, and I'm scared, but excited, and loved it. 5 out of 5. Next, I actually read a book by my friend, Francina Simone, and that is Smash It. And I am acknowledging my bias here. I know Francina. However, as soon as I opened this book, I got lost in it immediately. I like kind of disconnect when I read a book, so like regardless of like the author or what I know about them, I just kind of go straight into it with like just expecting a story. So even though I do know Francina, I was here for Liv, and Liv was amazing. This is actually the first time that I've read a YA contemporary in like a really long time, because I don't know, I felt that I had kind of like outgrown them to a degree, because like when I was like reading contemporary YA, I just found a lot of the same issues over and over and over again from book to book, and so then I was like, maybe this genre just like isn't for me. Then I realized it was just the books that I was reading. It wasn't a problem that I had like with the genre, because I loved this so much. The character dynamics, the relationships. So she has, I think, like 3 love interests, and my heart was all over the place. I like, my stomach was in knots for her when she was in situations, because something I really appreciated about Liv was that she was messy, because I am also messy, and I can relate. So like I was really sick of YA protagonists who were like, oh, I'm not like other girls, and they're just boring because they are like all the other girls. Whereas Liv is, like, she felt very real. Like, she made mistakes. She paid for her mistakes. There were consequences. It wasn't just like, oh, she kind of messed up and then we're moving on. It's like, she messed up and then shit goes down. And I really appreciated that, because it felt like there was actual, like, cause effect. And at the end of the day, I just really fell in love with this book and these characters, and I know that she's writing a second one right now. And so I'm so ready to see where Liv goes from here, because like, this is one of my favorite reads of 2020. Like, just regardless of anything, this book is amazing and so good, and read it. And next, I actually started Lord of the Rings with the kid that I babysit, but I obviously haven't finished because it's really long. I just wanted to throw it out there that is something I am currently in process of reading, and it's great. Next, I read Solutions and Other Problems by Ali Brosh. Now this book, So you may know Ali Brosh from Hyperbole and a Half, which is the like cartoon comic memoir that she published years ago. I read it, my God, years ago. And so this is now, it's not a sequel, it's just kind of like a more things in my life. So you can read this without having read Hyperbole and a Half. I would recommend reading Hyperbole and a Half first, because Hyperbole and a Half is a very fun book. It's a very funny book. I, like, you know, burst through my seams laughing through most of that book. This book, very off and on. And by off and on, I mean there was moments when I was like laughing so hard that like my stomach hurt. And then there are other moments where I just had to close it because it made me so sad. So Ali Brosh has gone through a lot in her life, and she's very honest with the reader about it, in a way that like I wasn't expecting her to be like as raw and honest about a lot of things. And reading this book actually brought up a lot of things in me that I related to in this book, and I don't really want to get into everything, but this book just like really touched me in a way that I didn't expect. That I actually cried a couple times. And so be wary of your mental state going in, I would say. Not that it's a bad thing. This is a really, really good book. I would give this 4 out of 5 stars. But also, if you're really influenced by the things that you're reading, I would be a little careful. Not that there's anything like super major or graphic or anything in here. It's just like the vibes. I know that's like an unqualified statement, but yeah, just protect yourself, just in general too. But like, I'm an empath, so I really feel when I read and watch movies and stuff, so I get fully into what happens. And this book made me sad. Also laugh, but sad. So it's a really good book. I definitely recommend it, especially if you loved Hyperbole and a Half. Anyways, I'm talking too long, but yeah, recommend. Another book I read in October was Edge Dancer, which I do talk more about in my Words of Radiance and Edge Dancer review, but this book is phenomenal and actually can kind of be read standalone if you haven't got into the Stormlight Archive. However, I definitely recommend you read this after book 2 of Stormlight, and it's phenomenal. It's great. 5 out of 5 stars. What do you think I was gonna say? And that's it for my October wrap-up. I know I didn't read a lot of books. Well, I mean, it's because most of the time I was reading Oathbringer, and I'm still reading Oathbringer. So that has taken up the majority of my read time. So also don't expect a November wrap up because I'm probably only gonna read like 2 books in November, and that's Dawn Shard and Rhythm of War. Like I said on this channel, if you have gotten sick of me talking about these books, don't tell me because I'm gonna keep talking about them. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share with some of your other bookish friends. Leave a comment what you guys read in November. I'm interested in seeing how, or not November, October. Have I been saying? And that's what I've read in October. So share in the comments down below what you guys read in the month of October for spooky season. And yeah. Subscribe if you want to see more of my upcoming content. We got a nano vlog coming soon. We got Rhythm of War and Dawn Shard. And then in December, early December, I'm going to be doing a binge read of the Poppy War trilogy. I'm finally getting around to it. So lots of exciting things to look forward to. I will see you guys soon. Bye.